Hey guys, welcome to my channel. This video and next at least two other videos I will be focusing at Silkypix Developer Studio black and white photography. So basically you're going to learn how to edit a phenomenal black and white photography using Silkypix Developer Studio Pro. And as you know, if you're already using Silkypix Developer Studio Pro, that Silkypix has a tool called Monochrome controller where you can fine tune and create amazing black and white photography. The reason why I decided to make different videos for specifically for black and white, we'll be looking at landscape photography black and white, portrait black and white, and high key black and white and low key black and white, more like a fine art, because black world of black and white is amazing. So we're going to look at it. Let's put it this way. We are most likely going to look at monochrome photography rather than saying black and white photography. So it's like a monocolor, if you're familiar with that. So let's jump right into it. It's going to be a good day. Now, I've got a really beautiful photo ready. It's already nice. It's innocent. It reminds me of my own childhood. So first thing we're going to do is my typical lens correction. So we're going to go to the lens correction because it's already converted to DNG and taken with Olympus. So generally you don't need to do any kind of lens correction. It's already done in camera. Step number one is done. Step number two, we're going to take a look at white balance. Now, first thing first, white balance, I highly insist, white balance is really your choice. It's nothing wrong or nothing right about it. If my skin, like in this photograph, is well affected by this yellow vibe, that's how the environment is in that particular room at that particular moment. So it's nothing wrong with it. So it's solely your choice. What I'm going to do, I'm going to test it with the skin correction tool. So I'm going to put it on her, see if it's working for me. If so, I will keep it. In my case, it doesn't because I like that warm vibe. So I'm going to go back with the Control Z and then stick with it. Although in the dark adjustment, I'm going to add a little bit of green tint. That's the maximum I'm going to be doing. Now that's done, right? And then second step will be neutral. Go to the profile, change it to monochrome first. You're not obliged to. You can actually reduce the saturation. That is a wise choice to select the original monochrome profile. In the monochrome, you have two choices. Monochrome as usual and monochrome 2. So monochrome 2 is more bright. So I'm going to keep that. Step number 2 is done, ladies and gentlemen. You have to see, you have two subjects here. The grandfather and the granddaughter. Now the face of the grandfather is bright enough where the face of the granddaughter is not that well exposed. So I'm going to reduce the exposure on grandfather and then raise the exposure on the granddaughter. How I'm going to do that? Easy. I'm not going to be very specific and then fine-tuning because this is a tutorial, so you can play with your own photograph. I'm going to do it like a nice and quick edit. I'm going to raise the brush, raise the feather, and then do a nice little brush over him first. And then reduce it just enough, like not too much, just enough. Let's see if it's looking natural enough. Okay, I'm gonna stop right there. Now I'm gonna brush on the light too, a little bit, not too much again. I'm gonna make the brush smaller. And let's see how it works. So reduce the light, not too much again, just enough to make it look natural enough. Now, same thing on granddaughter, just enough, like that. Now in this case I'm going to be raising the brightness, so maybe as long as it doesn't show at the cut. So that's done. Here's another thing, because you're raising a lot of exposure in certain area, you might be wondering that maybe it will show a lot of noise. That's the beauty of black and white or monochrome photography. Any noise is a good thing because you can turn it to a grain, which is kind of show the authenticity of the photography. So we are done. Now here's the part. So Silkypix has a monochrome controller. Now monochrome controller, you have few choices here. So if you turn both of them on, the red filter, it's back in the day when the film era we used to put like a red filter, different color filter to even expose for the sky, make the sky darker, or make the landscape brighter. Different color does different job. So here you can click on each color filter and then see if it's working for you. For instance, red is quite contrasty. You can change it to orange, it's more bright. Green and yellow shows a different thing. However, though, we're not going to do that. At the bottom of that tool, you have that develop as monochrome. We're going to get rid of it like that. You see that? Now if we change the color filter, each color filter is becoming actual color filter, actual color, which is another way to say monochrome. Now I'm going to untick it for now. I'm going to untick it so that we can get back to the original one. And then what I'm going to do, I'm going to play with the red, for instance, and then I'm going to turn on the red filter, color filter, and then go to the orange and reduce the depth quite a bit like that, and then make the hue a bit more stronger. And then I'm going to see whether or not it's working for me. For me, I like it more orange than red. So I think I'm going to change the hue all over again and see if it's working for me. Maybe I can change it to yellow and see if it's working as well. So I'm going to change the hue all the way down, change the depth, and now finally it's working for me. So I'm going to let it render. Once the rendering is done, I'm going to take a look and see if it's working. To be honest with you, I already love it. Final thing I can do, I can turn this one off, add some demosaic sharpening and default noise reduction. I'm not going to play with it too much. I'm going to let the software do its work, and I'm going to turn off all the panels left and right and open it side by side with the previous photograph. What I'm going to do, I'm going to open the panel again to press reset so you can see side by side how far we have come. So I'm going to turn the panel off. Check this one out. The color photograph is already phenomenal and beautiful enough, right? But now we created a kind of old school film black and monochrome photography. I don't want to call it black and white photography. It's more like monochrome because it's not just black and white there. You have like a nice soft yellow filter over it to recreate that old film look, which I love from the bottom of my heart. It's a family photograph. It looks beautiful. The color looks beautiful. The black and white looks beautiful. I'm happy. I'm satisfied. I hope that you are satisfied with the result as well. If so, practice as much as you can. Share with the other Silkypix developer users out there. Like and subscribe, and I see you in the next video. Bye bye. Take care of yourself.